What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today, oh my goodness, we have some absolutely massive breaking Destiny 2 news that will quite literally change the entire game. And so, let's get started. So when I say this came out of nowhere, I mean this came out of nowhere. I was sitting there chilling, playing some Magic the Gathering Arena. Earlier today, I posted a video on the buffed Controverse Hold Warlock build. Check that out if you haven't. It's actually a super fun build to play. You don't have to sweat and spam all your abilities. You just throw your grenades and everything dies. But I look at my phone, I get a notification that the official Destiny 2 team Twitter account has tweeted the following, and this is the massive news. So here's what they say. As we continue to develop power and progression changes for Destiny 2 Renegades, which is the next major expansion coming in early December, we'd like to announce the following changes. Number 1, seasonal power will now carry over into Season 28 in December. There will not be a seasonal power reset as in past seasons. And then they say, additionally, your unstable cores will carry over into Season 28, so Renegades, and beginning next week, a catch-up will be available to boost players to 300 power. We will provide additional information on these changes and more in the TWID, the weekly update on Thursday. Wow, because guys, I mean, right now, like, this just completely puts the entire power and progression system on its head. Because right now, the way that the leveling system is designed is that you increase your power level as much as possible, right? You go up and up and up, and as you increase your power level, you'll start getting better and better tiers of awards. So you're going to start getting, tier 3s in the 300s, then in the 400s you're getting tier 4s, then after that you're starting to get consistent tier 5s, but it was announced way back when, before the Edge of Fate, that what was supposed to happen is that when Renegades comes out, your power resets to the permanent power band of 200. That's why if you look at any piece of gear in the game, it has the permanent power of 200 plus seasonal power. And then when we're talking about seasonal power, why is it called seasonal power? Because it's only supposed to last for the season. And so the unstable core's currency is what you're using to increase any gear piece in that seasonal power band. So if you're going anywhere above 200, you need unstable cores. The entire system is based on it resetting again when Renegades comes out on December 2nd, Season 28, but that's not happening. And this could be a fantastic thing for the game. I mean, like, this was one of the biggest complaints. This is one of the darkest clouds looming over the community right now, is that sense of, like, hopelessness, where you log onto the game, maybe you look at the portal and you think about, you know what, maybe I could do a little bit of leveling. Hey, this weapon I want as well is featured on a really fast activity. Maybe I could level up. And then you just think, it all goes away. You know what I mean? Like, do I really need to get all the way up to the current cap of 550 before Renegades? Do I really care? Like, just the knowledge that it's all gonna reset. You're going all the way back down to 200, or at least you were going all the way back down to 200. That certainly was a, like, diminishing factor in wanting to play the game, is that knowing you'll lose everything. Unstable cores too. The currency, like, this is such an annoying currency to use right now. It costs a small fortune to upgrade something that is like low power up to where you currently are. So God forbid you take an exotic out of the collections and it's 200. It's gonna cost you, like, you're gonna have to get a loan from the bank to be able to get that up to your current power band. So again, this just completely upends those entire systems. What will this now look like? Well, now already I can tell you guys personally, I just became a lot more motivated to actually level up. I mean, like, seriously, if my power is not going down, you know what, now I could make a little bit of a push to 550. If I'm gonna start Renegades at 550, if my work, my effort that I'm putting in to leveling this season is maintained and carried over into the next season, I certainly have more desire to do that leveling process. And again, this is part of the reason why like people are so disheartened right now, is like the leveling sucks so much. It takes so long to level. It's just not a fun experience engaging with the portal in a lot of ways. But then that extra knowledge on top that it's all going to be reset just killed the motivation for so many people to play. But now it's gone. Now it's gone. So I really wonder, like, what is going to happen? Is the level cap going to just increase? So like, are you going to be 550 and then in Renegades, now the max cap is 650? That's very possible. And to be honest, a lot of people ask for that, but that is something that, you know, it's the equivalent of resetting. And this is something that, you know, I've talked about and kind of had arguments with people when I'm streaming and stuff. They're very upset about the reset, but we've essentially been having a reset for years. Every time they increase the power cap, it's functionally identical to resetting your power. You know, all your gear is now behind and you have to increase it up to the new cap, right? But it doesn't have the same like psychological impact, right? It doesn't have that same impact of like going back down, having what you earned taken away from you. And I think that is like a really big factor. Additionally, the jumps we've had previously in past years have like never required the amount of leveling that you have to do now with the new Edge of Fate like portal system, right? Like it was never as arduous getting back up to an appropriate like kind of power level to start doing activities as it is right now in the game. And also the rewards you were earning in the past were not so determined by your level, right? Like before, you could just go into whatever you were doing and start earning god rolls right away, but now if you want those tier 5s, you're gonna have to level in all things except for the raid, the Desert Perpetual raid, which has a system that awards high tier loot that is completely outside the leveling system. So again, I just want to impress on you that this is going to be such a fundamental change to the game. Anyone out there who leveled and then got burnt out, you're somewhere in the 300-400s, man, like the fact that you're going to be maintaining that in Renegades is actually huge. And this could be the first step in turning the game around. Now, I know that's, you know, hopium copium times a million. I totally understand that, but this absolutely addresses major concerns. People hate leveling right now. So this just means you don't have to do it again, or you won't have to do it in the same capacity. Again, they could still increase the overall power level again in Renegades. We'll have to wait and see. Another big question is what happens to high tier loot? If you get to like the 500s, are you going to be earning tier 5s immediately in Renegades? Maybe that's going to be awesome. Right? Like that will be pretty sick, like just starting to go for those juicy tier 5s right off the rip. Is that good for the longevity of the game if you earn all the good loot right away? But, well, I mean, like you say that, but I mean, I say that, but no one's playing the game right now anyway. So maybe it's not time to think about longevity. It's time to think about, you know, giving people a reason to hop back into the game and start enjoying the game once again. What do you guys think? Again, this is absolutely massive. And I want to also impress, the last thing is that bottom thing, next week, you have that special catch up to 300 power. Guys, again, we were going to reset to 200 power. That means if you've never played the game before, next week you can hop on, instantly become 300 power, and you're already going to be better off than the original power system that Bungie first told us about. Like, you were just gonna instantly be 300 power, which you will carry over, compared to you would have been 200 power maximum with the permanent power ban. That's already a crazy difference. You get a 100 power advantage compared to what was originally envisioned just for opening up a catch-up box next week. Wow. So, again, massive news. Wanted to share that with you guys. What do you think? Is this enough to motivate you to start playing again? Is this enough? to make you kind of interested in checking out Renegades. You know, you're going to start from a position that you're brought yourself to right now. Are you more interested in checking out Renegades? Or do you think that this will end up hurting the game? If everyone's already max level, you get a million tier 5s, you just get bored immediately. Again, let me know what you think. I really don't even know myself. This is such a fundamental change to the leveling system. There's so many questions I have. Again, we're gonna have to wait until the Thursday, and of course, I'll cover all the information provided on that Thursday TWID on this channel, so make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss that. Guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCactus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.